10 years ago, Morgan appeared almost dead in the coast of Holland. The experts of the Dolfinaro Harderwijk prepared a rescue mission to save her. Nobody on board of this rubber boat will ever imagine that they were putting at risk the rescues of the future. Now, with 10 years of perspective, we want you to know the story from the people who saved Morgan.
I remember it quite clearly, actually, because I know we were just heading into our high season. I know the Football World Cup was going on in South Africa, and England were meant to be playing that day. And all of a sudden, Niels just called us into the office to come and have a look at these photos of what was, of course, Morgan. And they had this question: what is it?
Yeah, it was a crazy day. I get a phone call. I think it was about noon or something like that. From the boat that patrols the Waddenzee, which is the northern bit in the Netherlands, the mudflats, basically the mudflats. Yes, we have this juvenile whale, and we don't know what it is. It's very meager. It's very thin, and it's following our boat. We've taken some pictures. Can you please have a look at it?
Jan and Niels were straight away very certain, like, this is not a big dolphin, this is a small killer whale.
So I went to Jan Mostert, my colleague, and he immediately said, because he's worked a lot with killer whales, he said, that's a killer whale.
And it was the most absolute surreal kind of situation when you're trying to actually put this into words. I'm glad that it's been filmed by many people, because at that point we didn't actually realize what we were getting ourselves into, of course.
We had to contact the ministry. We said, look, we've been called, there's a killer whale. It's a very young animal. It's in distress. It's following a boat. What do you want us to do?
She was totally covered with scratches on her body. She beached up on the rocks a couple of times with sharp barnacles on them. So she was pretty damaged.
And they came back within half an hour. Yeah, you please go ahead and then proceed. It was a perfect day. It was a wind-still day. There were no waves. It was beautiful. It was a sunny summer day. And then the sea was like a mirror.
We took a couple of good swimmers, including myself, and the diving team was working in Harderwijk.
And then we set off, and it was, and we didn't know quite what to expect or what we were going into.
It was very strange to walk on a sandbar with a killer whale in your hand, together with like 5-6 of your dear colleagues, and looked around like it was a flat, calm sea. It was warm. It was like a summer day in Holland. And Niels van Elk asked me, "Jur, can you stick your hand in her mouth to feel if she has teeth?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You asked me to put my hand in the mouth of a killer whale? I don't know."
We have this very weak, malnutritioned killer whale in our pool. And we're just like, my goodness, if she survives this night, we have a hell of a job to do. We have a hell of a job to do.
We went back in the middle of the night to Harderwijk, where we came. I think it was dark already. It was midsummer, so about midnight, 1 o'clock, I think we arrived in Harderwijk.
She was so thin. She hadn't eaten for so long, and we didn't know anything about her and about her history.
One of the biggest questions was, okay, how are we going to feed this animal? Because if we have to force feed a 400 or 500 kilogram killer whale, that would pose enormous problems for us for everything. Jan Mostert came rushing into my office. He said, "She's already eating." And he'd been throwing fish in the pool, and she was snapping the food, and that was wonderful.
And the first few days when you have a baby, you just do it. You know, it's just like one great big cloud of like, how did we do that? And that was the first couple of months, at least, with Morgan. It was a fascinating time. And of course, every time that we had to take care of Morgan or do medicals, we had to ditch the pool and get around about 10 to 15, or when she got a little bit stronger, 25 people to be down with us just to fix her just a little bit.
For me, it was special. It was the first killer whale I was really working with, and that's a total different thing than a dolphin.
I think after 1 or 2 days, I thought we have to seriously consider the possibility that she's going to survive. It was such a keen animal. It was unbelievable.
But she was great. She never really showed any signs of aggression to us. And I really think that these animals are so clever that she actually realized that we were giving her things that she needed. Food, the medication. So all of a sudden she was feeling psychologically better, I guess.
Found with Laura Parker, I think the perfect partner to take her over and to give her the life she deserves. And I think it's a top-notch park in the world, and with the best care.
Within 3 days, she had been in almost every pool, gated from our medical pool, all the pools at the back, and she had interaction with every other killer whale in that exhibit. Did we see an aggression? No. She really needed to be with other killer whales. She wasn't scared. The other two were accepting her, and there was harmony. But she really needed to be with other killer whales. She had been healthy and alone for too long. And my goodness, I mean, our work as trying to give her that much more enrichment just got very, very difficult, because she was just looking for more. Because yes, she was a healthy killer whale. Yes, the pool at the end in Harderwijk was too small for her. It wasn't built for killer whales. It was built for sea lions 30 years ago.
We tried to collect the auditory brainstem response from all of the whales that we had access to. We were able to record it in every whale except Morgan for the highest levels of sound that we were able to generate.
The management of Morgan is almost the same that for the rest of the animals. The only particular thing is that the trainers realized that she was not reacting to the sound whistles when they bridge the animal to finish the behavior. So they have been creating a new sign, a new visual sign. So while the rest of the animals get the bridge with the whistle, Morgan get the bridge with the trainer joining their hands over the head.
It's important for orcas to be able to hear well, at least at the frequencies at which they echolocate and the frequencies at which they have social communication. Orcas use echolocation for finding food. If they are unable to hear at the frequencies at which they echolocate, they may not be able to find food very well. Similarly, if they cannot hear at the frequencies at which they communicate, they cannot socialize with the other animals well.
If she did have a hearing problem, it probably had something to do with the reason why she's stranded.
Morgan is integrated very well here at Orca Ocean. She gets along with all the animals. She has favorite games that she plays and spends a great deal of time with her calf. So in my opinion, the way I see her, she's perfectly adapted. You know, one of the joys in life is seeing life itself, and when Morgan had her calf, it was just amazing. Having baby Ula around, if you've ever been around a baby killer whale, it's a very unique experience to help watch them grow and develop, and Ula's certainly doing a great job being a baby killer whale. She swims normally with all the rest of the group. She loves to swim with her mom, and she actually likes to slide up on her mom's back. A lot of times on free time, they're just swimming around, and Ula's constantly trying to take a ride on Morgan's back. If you can imagine what a great second chance Morgan's had in her life. She was near death, and now she's a mother, and integrated well here at Orca Ocean, and she has a wonderful life with all the rest of the animals here.
I think that it's the best what Morgan could have kept, you know. Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Listen, if we would have been maybe 2, 3, 4 hours later in Holland, in Lauwersoog, to do the rescue, there would be no story. But my goodness, we did a fantastic job. Everybody concerned did a fantastic job of getting this animal back on track. I mean, she was it 432 kilos when she came in to Harderwijk on that night. When she left, she was 1150.
I feel very good for the animal, and because I think the animal really got a good second chance, and especially that she's calved and that she's thriving in the group. That was the best possible outcome for her that I can imagine.